Why? What is this? Who did this? Why did they do it? Who greenlit this? Why? What kind of monster would do this? Who thought this was a good idea? Why? Why?
Why indeed is an excellent question. Anyway, allow me to welcome my guests. I'm feeling nostalgic, so welcome back our resident cat lady.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Welcome aboard. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
More weird attempting to connect the backlash of nuclear family patriarchal values and Jurassic Park and Aliens.
I don't get it, but at least we have something to look forward to afterwards.
Yeah. Agreed. Anyway, let's bring in the next prequel.
He's going right for the crew!
I am the next people.
Yep, you are the next people. Alrighty, welcome. Also, welcome back.
This cannot be.
You do realize that won't stop me, right?
Sup, first, how's life?
Of course not.
Alrighty. And we have one more person coming on, now becoming a regular on the show. Welcome to White Dragon.
For a second there, I thought you said the last prequel instead of the last person.
Well, now we have enough regulars to have our own team of Power Rangers.
Go! I call.
Now we need a prequel series.
Dragonlord.
A regular series.
Dragonlord's mine.
No, Dragonlord is done because he's green.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. Welcome to some other people in the chat. Welcome, Johan. Becca. How's it going, John Lemley? Hypatia, always a pleasure. I think that's it so far, at least for people in the chat. There are 8 people watching, but some other people have not commented, so I can't say hi yet. So anyway, yeah. Well,
Super Sentai or maybe common writers.
Maybe. Kishu / Charlie Calkins.
Yep. Hello.
Alrighty.
Hello.
So, okay, when last we left off, we talked about how being the sperm father is a means of paternal suicide, and is the collaboration of the male in the eradication of his fatherhood.
What the fuck does he even...
He is just so freaking crazy.
Okay, I forgot all about this, so I'm like... this is like jumbled words to me.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
I forgot the context of any of this.
Okay, so basically what he's saying is the notion of the sperm father... Seriously, what's... That's
never seen
yeah,
Van
that's from
Helsing
Van Helsing.
2004. You are uncultured little bastard. That's what you are. Oh shit! Watch it, or you're gonna be banned. Watch.
His sperm father, I guess, is like massive Spurg for baby daddy.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Yeah.
What the hell? Where did you even? Did you make that term up?
No, this is from a book called Fatherless America from 1995.
Did that person just make it up?
Probably.
I think they did.
Yeah.
Just why?
Yeah. So
why not just use the term father?
I don't know. Basically, like this father that leaves, leaves. Basically the idea is that contemporary America has now become Amazon culture that exploits men as means of procreation and then discarded, and women slowly become the devouring, consuming monster.
Surprised he didn't bring up the soldier angle, which is one of the key ways men are exploited.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so to continue on page 113 of this 200-page book.
Well, you're mostly more than halfway through, so I'll give you that.
Thank God for that. Ugh.
Well, it's taken.
They wouldn't get back to the David Benioff defense book after this.
It's
pain.
Yeah, there's Mondays are always bad. Thankfully, Wednesday we're talking about one of the best books ever written, which is The Way of Kings.
Yes, we are. I cannot wait for that.
Wait, what book was that again?
The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson.
Never heard of it.
I finally finished it, and I've gotten to chapter 20. Chapter 22 of Words of Radiance.
Nice.
So
one thing that you'll notice is that each of the books is focused on exploring the backstory of a different character. So
I figured the first book was Kaladin. It looks like the second book is going to be Shalon, and third book could be any number of people.
Cool. Let me. All right. Unfortunately, we must abandon the hype train. And
unfortunately, that's for Wednesday. Right now, we have to deal with
Pain Day.
word salad.
Yeah. Okay. So, if, however, the discourse of female unruliness and male enfeeblement is to be expected in such sources, its presence and prominence might appear unaccountable in Alan Bloom's Closing of the American Mind, a book outwardly about the waning of philosophical inquiry in the nation's colleges.
Okay, I gotta take a step back and what is this all about, anyways? What does this relate to?
Aliens in Jurassic Park and feminism.
Okay, I'm lost.
Basically, it's the notion that aliens in Jurassic Park represent how should I put it? The patriarchal family unit assaulted by monstrous femininity.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't either. It's dumb.
Yeah.
Can we skip all this and can get back to
No, we must read every single word.
Okay, and this is the part where I stop paying attention.
Yeah.
I forgot my Thousand Island in this word salad, so
Well, Kirk Cameron saving Christmas is always a thing.
Hey.
No, blasphemy, no.
But I will shoot you.
Regret being a regular now, White?
Or we could watch Freddy Got Fingered and I'll be longing for the embrace of Kirk Cameron.
What the fuck is that?
No.
We will never, ever, ever wish for Kirk Cameron.
No.
Really?
I on this hill.
Oh, do you want to Freddy Got Fingered's
No,
pretty
we are
bad.
not watching that movie.
It sounds disgusting.
One piece of suffering at a time.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, basically, at one point, you have a dude who clearly has some kind of problem. I don't know what that problem is. Pulling a baby out of his mother's womb and swinging him around by his umbilical cord in order to try and wake him up.
Okay, that's messed up. But honestly,
let's skip
I may
You cannot see me, but I am face palming.
Yeah.
Is this some really sick movie or something?
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be an anti-comedy. Yeah, I am my sadism is showing.
No more new stupid until you finish current stupid.
All right.
Yes, please.
Okay. So here, Bloom indicts feminism for its defensive nature and for its use of force. Reprehends. That's odd. Reprehends the idea that the souls of men, their ambitious, warlike, protective, possessive nature, must be dismantled in order to liberate women, and petulantly invokes the days when the father was seen as the symbol of divine on earth, the unquestioned bearer of authority. The days when, in keeping with its owner's political prowess, the man's penis was admired by women for the wonderful thing.
I think you guys seen
What the?
You're gonna need to do that again. Something after the man's penis.
Ninja, please don't remind me of this said.
Oh my god!
Please don't revive
So
me,
stupid.
even though I have Marika. Yeah, by the way, done.
Oh, this is full.
Have you guys seen Charlie Brown before? You know how the dog sounds, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I hear every time you speak when you read this book.
Oh, it's the amateur machine of Wolf. He'll get back to you when he has finished screaming his head off.
And I'm sad that you can't come on, Crow. We miss you too.
We miss you,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah. So the days when, in keeping with its owner's political prowess, the man's penis was admired by women for the wonderful thing it was, rather than being judged and compared, which is daunting.
No, I'm sorry. What?
I'm not putting a fucking single brain cell into this. Move on from
I'm sorry, but
So basically, this guy is taking a pot shot at one of his intellectual enemies.
He's taking a pot shot at whoever seduced his girlfriend, sounds like.
yeah, that's what it sounds
Yeah.
like.
Why would they put themselves in such a low bar? Like, wow.
Unfortunately,
A really low bar. But
unfortunately,
why would
unfortunately, this man has spawned children, so
I feel sorry.
I'll still apply by that rule. The sins of the father shall not pass on to the child.
Yeah.
Hopefully
his kids are sane.
Well, the philosophies of the father usually pass to the children, so.
But the sins do not carry. They can
unless
still be
the kids
saved.
decide to be massive rebels.
Well, no, the sins are not on the kids unless they do the same thing that the parents did.
They can
Then
still
you can do that.
Yeah, they can still save them.
Let's keep going,
Perhaps.
shall we? So, what all this has to do with Kant and Kierkegaard is unclear, yet Bloom's text indicates how malleable were the terms of the dysfunctional family drama, with its image of unnatural, forceful women lording it over dismantled, daunted men, and its argument, explicit or not, that only when men regained the ascendancy would sanity and security return to the land. Interesting point of view. I don't agree.
Yeah, it's not that men just want, decency and respect.
Yeah.
No, it must be we want to be tyrants.
Yeah.
I say when my avatar is a goof.
Yeah.
Wow, you're racist.
Yeah. That's just your opinion.
Oh my god.
These accumulated dirges leave no question, as Faludi writes, that if the pro-family movement was pro-anything, it was pro-paternal power.
Oh my god.
Done. Stop putting so much brain cells into this guy.
I'm not. I'm just reading. I'm just reading scrap.
That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, how many pages do we have to go?
Oh, we're still in the middle of the first one.
Oh God, no!
It's like one of those moments when you're like, it's just like a whole montage of like someone climbing a hill, and then they get to the top, and it's not actually the top; it's just like 1/4 into it. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is still 23 pages left.
No, what like 20
this
pages
chapter.
of
Yeah,
book?
it's gonna take at least one more stream to get through this
Yeah.
damn
It's
chapter.
this nonsense. Oh, fuck me.
Okay. So what was perceived to be the peril was not merely the domestic ideal, but the reproduction or dissemination of a system of male authority dependent in large part on traditional domestic roles, but not limited to them. This slippage between family and social power revealed itself in a variety of ways, as in the tendency of family values engineers to theorize the state itself as a maternal monster, a secondary suffocating mechanism violating the naturally occurring organism of the other-headed family, what Alan Carson terms the displacement of the patriarchal family by the matriarchal state.
I have no idea if that person he's quoting has any credentials, but I seriously doubt it, seeing as no one who actually holds libertarian positions really cares what kind of junk the state has. It still deserves to die.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It may be fruitless to ask in what sense the state can be characterized as matriarchal, though in the widely held view that a gluttonous liberal government provided a haven for feminist harridans may provide one answer.
Oh, that aged well.
That aged real well, Bellin. Oh my God.
Yeah, it is probably best to say that because family values theorists believed the family was inherently the first and last preserve of masculinity, any preemption or infiltration
Oh, don't
of its
die.
power.
Jeez.
Okay, where was I? Of its power must constitute an assault by female forces. Any preemption or infiltration of its power must constitute an assault by female forces.
Men have been attacked by men since time immemorial. Why would they characterize any assailant as female necessarily? If anything, they would characterize it as a male assailant. It's like man-to-man combat. That is an expression.
Yeah.
The book gave done COVID.
Well, no, I have a theory, actually. God's been dead for a very long time because...
Decency?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Mm-hmm.
We're just dealing with a spirit that hasn't really left the earth yet.
As such, just as the colonization...
Oh, God!
Oh, good Lord.
Just as the colonization of the paternal sanctum has shattered the harmony of the family, so did it forebode, as George Gilder warned in Men and Marriage, the downfall of civilization itself. When people lose the power of sexual polarity,
What? Sexual polarity? What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know exactly.
There are a few things it could mean, and all of them are stupid.
Yeah. That's what I expect from an idiot.
Mm-hmm. So
he's below an idiot. He's the dumbest idiot that ever exists.
Maybe it's the gender binary, I guess.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was thinking. The other is like sexual magnetism, which is a stupid idea.
Okay, looked it up. Sexual polarity. Here it is. Sexual polarity. Sexual polarity is the concept of dualism between masculine and feminine. More generally, the term may be used to denote mutual opposition between sexual ideologies.
That's not what polarity refers to the pulse of a magnet. Magnets attract each other, dumbass.
No, they do use poles in here.
Yeah.
The very dichotomy.
Stupid.
Here it is. Metaphorical symbolism of sexual polarities deeper intertwined cultural understandings of nature. Conceptions of male and female poles are developed through history in relation to each other. I'm not going to look at this, but it's pretty much sexual attraction.
Okay. So, when people lose the power of sexual polarity or sexual attraction, they also lose their procreative energy and faith in themselves and their prospects. Uh-huh.
Not necessarily.
No, masturbation is still a thing.
No, in fact, if you're not having kids, you can have all sorts of jobs.
True.
In fact, it's actually the opposite.
Yeah, true. You have less time in a money sinkhole.
And less expenses, so you can work wherever you feel like and actually do something you're passionate about rather than having to work at some place that's really high paying in order to support a family.
Hence, money sinkhole. With the breakdown of Gilder elaborates, with the breakdown of families, the economy also declines as the long-term efforts of male providers give way to short-term and predatory economic behavior. An emasculated state neither can defend itself against male outlaws and exploiters, muggers and terrorists, hijackers and assassins, nor can achieve the economic growth to finance the welfare programs and police efforts required by culture in chaos.
So does he want the state to be masculine or not?
I think that
he's like playing both sides.
I think that he is citing his opponents to make them look stupid.
Well,
yeah, but he doesn't make their points wrong. He doesn't actually refute their points. He just points and laughs.
He's trying to make them look stupid, but he's only making himself look even worse.
And the irony is that we're pointing and laughing at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Gilder's conclusion is at once sprawling and devastatingly direct. The emasculated society will pay the costs one way or another, not only through tremendous outlays for daycare, but also through economic declines, population loss, juvenile delinquency, crime, mental illness, alcoholism, addiction, and divorce. The alternative to family roles is not a unisex family, it is sexual suicide.
Oh, good. Freaking God.
Here's a fun little statistic for you. The number one common factor between all people in U.S. prisons is a lack of a father figure.
Okay. So moving fluidly from the smallest unit of society to the largest, from the confidential to the apocalyptic, the rabid logic of family values construes women's excessive and unreasonable grasping for power and men's inability or unwillingness to rein them in as inseparable from the ghastly power of a grand patriarchal edifice in rapid headlong decline. Okay.
That makes no
Not gonna
sense.
spend any time on that.
Well, basically, he's saying that, family values logic is rabid and crazy and is, doesn't, and clearly, is in favor of a ghastly patriarchal system that he hates, or at least, doesn't like. And Scarlett doesn't like Jurassic Park because, he thinks it's sexist, but for weird reasons.
Smash the patriarchy! Dude! Patriarchy is you!
You're a dude.
People that think
You have had Spawn.
Is he one of those people that think everything is sexist for some bizarre reason? He just looks for it and thinks it's there.
I don't know.
Maybe? I don't know.
Everybody
probably
knows the Sarkeesian quote.
They would probably call us sexist because there's only one female here next travel full 4 men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the whole idea behind this entire fucking book is the fact that he's there's an old line, making the perfect the enemy of the good. Just because something isn't perfect doesn't mean it's not serviceable. Just because something has flaws doesn't mean it's not still doing an acceptable job. But no, because it's not, he has to take it down so that he can do an even worse job.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, yeah. I honestly think that, like, this. I honestly, like, at this point, I get the feeling this guy's a secret Nazi, and this book is kind of to preserve Nazism, because this is the this is kind of one of the best, like, advocate for right wing stuff I've ever seen, because this is so dumb. This is so dumb that I cannot see anybody thinking, oh, this professor is clearly very left-leaning. I should believe in this policy, unless they are really, really dumb, like Cold Crash Pictures. That man is an idiot.
Yeah, I'm done. I want to point out what Crow here said.
What? I already did. What? The more I think the patriarchy is a bad thing, I already put that up.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's not be paying attention.
But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
having a dad in the home is always a good thing. Always.
Parents are like kidneys. You can survive with one, but it's better to have two.
You're not.
Yeah, it's better.
Dangerous. So, unfortunately, he never brings up Jaws as a movie. There are two options. Here they are, and my ideas stand against blatant reality, so there's only one option left. Yeah.
Nuke the place.
My... this person is just...
And the next paragraph is like half a foot long.
Half a foot long, like with a ruler?
What?
Well, we have a half a foot long fucking Subway sandwich left the page. You know,
it's
I
like
doubt Bellin has anything that's half a foot long.
Well, it's basically half of a page, and then another, and like a third of another.
Foot long. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I say, like half a foot. You know what? I don't was coming on this stream.
Actually, I think you would, Crow.
Yeah. It's anyway.
You're invited to the after party, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it is the carnival of the disillusioned.
Coupled with
it's a rather crappy carnival, okay?
You know, for sometimes I wish I was still too dumb to realize like shows were really bad, like Game of Thrones.
So what I mean by half a page, let me turn on my camera. So
Status.
That's
what God!
God!
Yeah,
so
stop showing us the torture.
So this is where we are going to end, and this is where we start. This is where we start. This is where it ends.
That's not half a page. That's an entire page.
And then look at the next one. It's like half the page for another paragraph. Some people have to work really hard to get their books formatted properly.
Oh my... This guy definitely needed a lot more...
It's like you have... Oh gosh, no, that page.
It's just a wall of text of bullshit. Oh, fucking hell.
For the record, Crow, the only reason I'm even here is to finish what I started. I'm pretty much not on any streams anymore.
And yeah, I'm sorry for not coming to yours either. It's
I didn't know how to get in contact with Crows. So I'm like,
I tend to go to bed early, so
yeah,
that's why I miss it.
Well, That's what I say. Like by a unit of measurement, this paragraph is half of a foot long.
Wow. Yeah.
That's right. Like no exaggeration. I think it might even be slightly longer. It might be 3/4 of a foot long. It is really, really long.
Oh, no.
And then there's the fact that the font is so damn tiny.
Yeah.
I'll apply what the flying expert here said. That wall of text is longer than the Trump wall.
Yeah, true.
You just build it out of that. Oh my god, that would be the perfect deterrent. They would like get into the wall and then they read the text like, oh, I'm going back.
I don't want to go with this. I don't want to live in this crazy country. These people are clearly nuts. These people are crazy. This could be bad.
Hey, did you guys watch the Mando's stream last night?
No.
He showed off this really weird and bizarre North Korean propaganda piece.
What? Oh my gosh!
It was like showing North Korean peoples what their interpretation what Americans look like. That's like there's no birds in America because they ate them all. And
there are no cats in America, and
there are no wolves on Fenris.
With cheese, because there are no cats in America.
But there's
America definitely has a preponderance of pussies.
Anyway, we're 30 minutes in and we are barely through a page and a half.
Oh crap. Let's
okay. So coupled with gender in such Judgment Day auguries, moreover was an equally protean and potent ally. Race. Okay.
Brown boy.
No, Crow just sent me something very funny. No, he just posted something really funny in the Discord. Stream discussion channel. It's here.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Bye. Yes, that's what it would look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wall of runes from the Ravnica block.
Basically.
It's like, what am I looking at?
Yeah. That's the wall of text that we're dealing with, guys.
And ironically enough, the fact that you can't even read because it's horrid looking, it's pretty accurate.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the framing monsters in a nutshell? Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
And
good cat,
having
pretty good.
a big vocabulary does not help you unless you have a character that's very articulate and they speak a certain way.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, well, he's starting to reuse some of his vocabulary now. He's using protean again, like it's his word of the day calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Protean.
Yeah, predictions such as Gilder's, that is, relied not only on conjuring a feminist menace, but on identifying an even more awful boogie at the end of the social spectrum. That of the fatherless...
Boogie?
Bogey. Yeah, bogey.
Spell?
Yeah. B-O-G-E-Y. Like boogie.
Okay, so the aircraft term.
Or the like boogie. I think it's like boogeyman, supposedly.
There's boogie that sounds like booger, which is a reference to the boogeyman, and generally when people say bogey, it's like somebody riding up your tail in a dogfight.
Yeah. Even more awful bogey at the far end of the social spectrum, that of a fatherless African-American subculture breeding, as critics such as Blankenhorn were fond of putting it, 14-year-old girls with babies and 14-year-old boys with guns.
Is it wrong?
Oh, God.
It's not wrong. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Wise, if you have something to look at, I posted something in private chat.
It's racist to observe things.
Yeah. The former threatening the broader society's economic and moral underpinnings, the latter its physical and economic safety. Huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. The motivations behind this foregoing of race, which became an incessant refrain of the pro-father movement, are clear. The collapsing of gender and race further mobilized support for the family values campaign by seeding fear of a minority threat, an operation pervasively conducted under the guise of benevolent concern for the underclass. The nearly unanimous ovations for the punitive welfare reform on legislation of 1994 are only one indication of how playing the race card served the campaign in its pursuit of popular and bipartisan favor.
Because welfare has never been a campaign issue before.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. Only 1994.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, so more subtly, the specter of ghetto tribes on the dole supplied the perfect prototype of matriarchy's supposedly baneful effects. As Gilder describes the disorder, the black family is breaking down because the female jobs and welfare payments usurp the man's role as provider.
When in reality, the man just walks off to get Pop-Tarts, and the mom is really pissed off that her kids are acting like thugs.
Mm-hmm.
That's like one of the oldest black stereotypes in urban neighborhoods, is that the black moms are really super strict. And you wonder, how do they get this way? Because they don't want their kids growing up like their dads.
Yeah, something like that.
I love how it's just like immediate what?
That's pretty much all of us during this entire fucking wall of text.
Yeah. From that, he observes, it should be clear that to any sentient observer that the worst parts of the ghetto present a rather typical pattern of female dominance. The African-American man, he concludes, driven to the wall, threatened with emasculation, surrounded everywhere by formidable women.
Oh, no.
Who in the hell thinks a ghetto is anything about female dominance when rap songs are all about treating women like whores?
Teleports.
Popcorn.
Yeah. Has not surprisingly struck back against the culture that, in depriving him of a social sanction role, has unleashed his antisocial instincts. Interesting. That the family values campaign offered the complementary stereotype of the wanton welfare mother as a spectacularly fertile teenage incubator.
Oh God! Seriously, no.
Of poverty, crime, addiction, and AIDS, as well as of whelps, is in keeping with the narrowly family-oriented and more broadly socio-political event of family values rhetoric. For, in both senses, these wayward girls were evidently committed to the reproduction of offspring hostile to parental and paternalistic authority, oversight, and control. That sentence was nearly an inch long. No, it might have been longer. It might have been longer. Let me show you guys. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Basically, like, let me show you.
He called a black person an incubator.
Do we need to see the
Okay.
We can't see it. It's just a blur.
Good God.
Yeah, this pretty much just proves that he's...
That's where it begins. And this is where it ends.
Yeah, I'd say that's an inch.
Yeah, so the wanton, so it's presenting like the stereotype of the welfare mother, a spectacularly fertile teenaged incubator.
No. Where are these dragon ladies? This chapter is called.
Yep, this chapter is called Dragon Ladies, yeah.
Where are they?
Well, it's referring to Women who are fearsome, who are in movies that usurp the place of dudes or are attacking the patriarchy.
Oh, well, that's lame.
He's trying desperately to crowbar every social problem under the sun into his stupid little umbrella.
Yes, Becca, he called a teenager an incubator.
Well, he's referring to the stereotype of
A
I
black
think like
teenage woman.
yeah, black teenage woman. I think he's referring it more to this guy named Gilder's hypothesis more than him. I don't think he believes this. Maybe I don't know at this. Maybe he's like presenting the alternative, the unifying alternative point, or whatever movie Bob would say regarding this. Honestly,
Who
I know.
knows?
I just remember like, what is it? Like he said like Joker's bad because it doesn't have like a doesn't come to a unifying alternative point or whatever. It was.
That's one of the things it actually does do.
Yeah, it's because Movie Bob has the intellect of what's a really dumb animal?
The dodo.
Hey, that's insulting the dumb animal, you asshole.
Bellin is an incredibly dumb animal.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
he's worse than the dodo.
Speaking
Yeah.
of which,
Yep. Okay. Dang, that sentence was nearly an inch long. It was so long, with no stops.
Oh no, that can go into a very dirty place if you take that out of context.
Wait. So there were no commas?
Ah,
There were a few commas, but there was no period.
I'm
you
just
could also
ignoring
take
you.
that really wrong.
Yeah.
It was an inch long and it had only one.
I fucking was just talking about the assholes. Everybody ignored me.
Okay, so taken as a whole, then family values discourse formed a unit whose power derived not from empirical validity, but from the metonymic imposture in place of hard fact. What the campaign achieved was the creation of a web of signifiers so impenetrable as to appear irrefutable. On the one hand,
Yeah, evidence tends to be irrefutable.
On the one hand, well, he's basically saying that the family values are stupid.
Yeah, he's trying to say that family values had its own propaganda and that his propaganda is the good propaganda.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is the worst chapter so far. Like, this is honestly worse than King Kong. This is worse than the King Kong chapter.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. On the one hand, the penchant to identify the most intimate site of heterosexual contact as the ultimate battleground can be seen as little better than a deception and a dodge, with the call for a defense of the family surging a larger crusade to curtail, if not abolish, the welfare state. Cloaking an extremist political agenda under the mantle of biology, that is, the mom and pop business is at once emotionally resonant, ideologically tidy, in its dichotomized of devoted and deviant. And since it appears neutral, difficult to contest without seeming fanatical or perverse. Let's keep. I think that statement speaks for itself.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
further
let's
elaboration.
not-
Just continue.
Let's not touch that.
The 7-foot pole.
Excellent question.
I'm not touching that one.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, no. I'm not touching it either.
That's a trap. That way there's a trap.
That's what she
Yeah.
said.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's not a trap, but
Yeah. So, yet on the other hand, it would be equally fair to say that the prognostications, interesting word.
Okay.
choice,
What?
Prognostications of wholesale cultural collapse run interference for a program of institutionalized sexism.
Prognostication, the action or foretelling or prophesying future events, aka a prophecy. Prediction, also it can be used in place. Prediction, forecast, divination, prognosis, projection.
Okay, let's keep going. Nightmare images of welfare-induced crack babies and gun-toting trio clubs provide justification for dismantling not only welfare, but the matriarchy that supposedly sustained and was sustained by.
That's not propaganda. In fact, in Detroit, they call that Monday.
Yeah, basically.
People actually live in these hellholes. And Bellin talks about them this way, like he's supposedly helping by perpetuating the hellhole.
Yeah, that's
like,
why
I saved the city by setting it on fire.
That's why
basically.
That's why I say this. I'm not made uncomfortable by pretty much anything. Don't worry.
I just didn't want to say anything about that.
Yeah.
My autism powers are far stronger than yours.
Yeah.
I have been training as an autistic since I was a young lad.
Alrighty.
Oh my god, you two are gonna fight, aren't you?
What? Lovely. In the end, the effect of this rhetorical morass was to disguise the ideological nature of the family values campaign's pleas for the father, to sanctify gender roles by presenting them as purely biological imperatives, while emptying patriarchy of any taint by rendering it natural to the point of invisibility. The campaign, to the extent that it was successful, thus had the effect of severing the family from the social and ideological nexus within which it exists. In the fantastic plot of family values, the multiple menaces of the social unconsciousness, mother monster, smother state, other race, fused into a many-headed hydra, venomously attacking the elemental law of the father family. What does this have to do with Jurassic Park?
Or Aliens? Oh, wait, I'm sorry, not Aliens. Alien.
The Aliens franchise, period. Like, since he brings up Aliens and Alien as well.
He conflates those two movies like he thinks they're one and the same. Like he thinks that one is spelled wrong.
Well, I know that one of them he says, and I know at one point he quotes an article that says that the alien queen is basically analogous with the black welfare mom.
Yeah, I don't think he's seen Alien. Like most people, he's just seen the sequel.
The gay dog. Just wanted to hug everyone.
What even is this? I'm like,
I don't know.
The mother monster is clearly a Hydra. Therefore, hail Hydra.
Okay, let's keep going.
What? Nothing. I'm fine.
You got Hydra, man. Kill him.
Two issues must be clarified at this point. Oh, thank you. We were totally lost. Now you must clarify things.
Only two things must be clarified.
I'm sorry, what? No. Everything has to be clarified.
Yeah. First, to present the Family Values campaign in such an unsparing light is to say that there is no basis in reality for the alarms it sounded. Those scholars have shown that the traditional family widely believed to have fallen prey to the depredations of unruly women and unsteady men, was an ahistorical amalgam of structures, values, and behaviors that never coexisted in the same time or place.
Despite the fact that we're actually seeing the consequences of the family breakdown now and have been for decades.
Yeah.
So these are the conclusions he's coming from watching these movies.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that a fucking stretch is fucking An understatement.
Yeah, that's what I say. What does this have to do with Jurassic Park and Aliens?
Yeah,
Okay.
what's this got to do with anything? If you wanted to write a history book, you should have just written a history book and not done anything with movies.
Yeah. Not even in the 1950s, the decade that most family values pundits denominated the period of the patriarchal unit's fullest and final flowering. No responsible commenter would deny that many of the issues the campaign cited, particularly those having to do with poverty, are worthy of serious attention. Yet, this being the case, it is important to reiterate that family values rhetoric functions precisely to deflect serious attention from these issues. What?
I don't know how any of that connects together.
They're trying to distract you with their bullshit about family values when I need to tell you about the glorious bullshit of communism.
I don't know if this guy's a communist or not. He probably is.
My head just
I am so excited to do Cold Crush Pictures Jurassic Park and Feminism video where he mostly just quotes from this chapter. It's insane.
you know how big a video I just I just go to read a book and just start quoting shit from a book.
Yeah.
AI's so smart.
Yeah.
Just because a book
God.
exists doesn't mean its content is worthwhile. That's why I gave up publishing.
Representing in Stacy's astute phrase, a politics of displacement, the campaign not only lumps many arguably unrelated issues under the shadowy catch-all category of father loss, but offers apparent solutions that are actually mere proxy rhetoric for anti-feminist, anti-gays, xenophobic, and anti-welfare statements, which themselves displace direct engagement with the most fraught social divisions and anxieties in our nation. The second point I would make, however, is that one must distinguish between a feint and a conspiracy, a backroom cabal. The family values was surely the former. It was probably not the latter. Oh, thank you very much for saying that it doesn't
A feint versus a conspiracy.
Yeah.
What?
Thank you for
so
clarifying that
stupid.
obvious statement that it's not.
It wasn't a conspiracy, it was just a lie.
Yeah. Its spark may have had genuine concern over the trends that many saw as damaging to American life. Its tactics, even at the highest levels, were fitful, uncoordinated, and inconsistent. Its operatives were far-flung, loosely united, and in all likelihood convinced of both their reactive posture and their unsullied concern for the public good. Indeed, save for its shock troops, such as the Million Men Marchers or the Operation Rescue Thugs.
He's taking issue with a Million-Man March?
I guess so.
Yeah, because they're full of a million King Kongs.
Oh my god, that is so dumb.
Yeah. 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 Oh, man. Okay.
My brain is starting to break so much. I think that Gandalf really did inspire Merlin.
You want to go back to Fire Can I Kill a Dragon at this point?
At least that way I get to leave.
Well, at least that one's easier to read and understand.
I feel like we accomplished more through that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
But it's
more
like
there.
Mm-hmm. A majority.
This guy is supposed to be an English teacher, and one of the things that he's supposed to be teaching people is brevity is basically everything. You want to say as much as possible with the least amount of words.
Yeah.
And yet, here he is with freaking run-on sentences and paragraphs that take up entire pages. And would take up more if the font was bigger.
unironically, the paragraph that I'm reading is a page long.
I am not surprised.
The fact that I believe you is quite a bit.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any Valyrian steel? I know I keep saying this, but we really need to find some.
Let me see. I think I may
Um,
have a claw for that. Oh, wait,
um,
I do.
a
Okay, just
majority-
stand still.
Majority of its operatives may have had no conscious sense that they were such. Okay. Inasmuch as family values ideology proliferated every cultural and social stratum, the home, the office, the pulpit, the assembly, the bench, the clinic, the silver screen, my summary has necessarily been selective, focusing on what I consider to be the campaign's principal thrust. I have ignored inconsistencies within this element, not to mention the ways in which family values discourse was adopted and adapted by those throughout the ideological spectrum, even those who questioned its tenets. Ultimately, a displaced assessment of the family values campaign would likely to be forced to admit that it was less a campaign than a clearinghouse, one in which the myriad anxieties, cravings, and stalemates of the time could be displayed or displaced for all, though unraveled by none. Okay. So, if I am going to summarize what I just read, basically he's saying that there was a lot of discourse that meant nothing.
I wonder what that sounds like.
Yeah.
Wow, this whole entire fucking this whole fucking chapter was a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. It's like this chapter could have been a page long.
It could have been 0 pages long and about 0 paragraphs and 0 sentences long. I agree with that.
This book did not need to be published.
No, it didn't.
Didn't deserve to be published.
At the same time, however, to question the integrity of this campaign is not to imply that the movement's dominant camp was so diffuse as to be unrecognizable, nor that it was rudderless, irresolute, or inconsequential. Quite the contrary. The barrage of rhetoric attacking women and exalting men, coupled with the systematic, if not wholly systematic, efforts to shore up what were believed to be the sagging organs of male authority.
I feel like we're just running in circles at this point. We're just looping. He's just saying the same thing over and over and over again. It's just like that one guy we were covering. It's like those people who are having a fetish with their little fanfics about fucking Wonder Woman.
An editor read this. This went through an editor.
Read this and had no problem sending it to damn publisher.
The editor probably thought it was clever.
Yeah.
It's quite astonishing how many times you can say the same thing over and over again. Really.
Yeah, it's like I hear the same thing being said with different words at least 3 times in this book.
It's like, I liken waning male political power to a fading erection. Hey!
Yeah. The sagging organs of male authority wrought many significant outcomes. Draconian welfare reforms, abortion gag rules, and parental consent laws, prohibitions on adoption by homosexual couples, and apathy in the face of putatively gay disease AIDS represent the merest factions of the family values fallout. Moreover, though the original defenders of family values witnessed political setbacks and defeats during these decades, it was the conservative vanguard's visions of family values that continued to shape debate to place alternatives on the defensive throughout the period.
Conservatism hasn't done shit. It is a useless ideology. It failed at the ballot box just recently. Honk, honk.
There is the bashing of conservatives too.
Okay, so Tommy Leno, that will be in 2 weeks. That'll be in 2 weeks. We'll get back to it, and it will be about Jon Snow's resurrection.
Oh dear Lord!
That's gonna feel like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna feel that way.
84 years.
Yep. Therefore, through this vision was not all determining. It did a vital service in nurturing the places where public conviction and cultural representation are jointly forged, as in the cinema. And in this project, the as if world of fantasy film played a particularly significant role, becoming one of the most open and well-lit arenas for the universal rehearsal and renewal of family values master narrative. The saga of the knight errant clad in tarnished mail, or male with MALE.
Jesus Christ!
Tilting to wrest kingdom and kids from the clutches of the Dragon Lady.
Dragon Lady bad. She burned
Uh-huh.
You know, never mind that Hollywood was like insanely communist is still insanely communist to this day and has put out communist propaganda explicitly funded by the then Soviet Union. And this is what he takes issue about when it comes to integrity in Hollywood. Fucking asshole.
Dragon Lady bad. Because she's a fascist now, I guess.
Dragon Lady bad.
Well, no, he's saying Dragon Lady good, and that
What?
the man no. This is what he is saying. This is what he is saying. Essentially, he's not saying Dragon Lady bad. He is saying Dragon Lady propaganda bad, and that the male patriarchy is bad, and that women should have more, and that this portrayal of women is bad.
In other words, don't you see? I'm the real hero here.
Yes, forget about Daenerys. Nobody cares about her. She was
Excuse
awful.
me, but there are actually women who want to be moms.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so the next section is entitled "The Other Woman." Interesting choice.
Oh, thank God we've gotten through at least some of that.
Yeah. The T-Rex is a Dragon Lady, and same with the Alien Queen.
Ugh.
Plot twist.
Don't we all wish?
Well, thing is, I hadn't even started writing I wouldn't start writing for another 4 years after this book was published. How? Yeah,
I wish I knew, Johan.
Yeah.
I wish I knew.
I had to grab
How
some-
is easy? He threw it at some simp publisher, and that's how he got it done. The question is why.
Yeah.
The world
White.
may never know.
White. White just wants a Dragon Lady.
Fuck that guy. Who the hell is he, anyways?
I wonder who it could be.
If I say it enough, it'll come true, and then we'll be sane again. Yeah, no.
T-Rex doesn't have wings. I think it's the metaphorical Dragon Lady. It's really weird.
I don't want to hear any shit about my Zongrid after this.
No.
Okay, but why though? Because this man is insane.
Yeah, he is. He's just saying the same things over and over again, and is expecting different
done.
results.
This is what we're gonna do after the stream.
Yes.
You're gonna read through this, and you're just gonna go past the bullshit and get to something actual
Probably,
substantive.
Probably for about another hour.
Yeah.
Since maybe an hour and a half more. I'm not sure.
We do have something to look forward to, though.
So, Dragon Blaster is referring to my upcoming novel, which surprisingly enough has the biggest fan base of all of my works, even though it hasn't come out yet.
I think that's a bit of a meme, isn't it?
Dragon Blaster's fandom is very much invested.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it's as a member of said fandom.
And you'll be happy to know there will be 2 more short books in the series after this.
But yeah.
Yeah, it figures. You write these big ass high fantasies,
what
so
a
we
turn
basically
of
want the
events.
Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's gonna be no sequels to this book. 2 minutes later, I guess there's gonna be 2 more actually.
Well, my options were either make a big 60 to 80K book, which I doubt that anybody, like, I don't think it would be feasible for people to, like, ask them to read, or I can make 3 short 40K word books, which I think could.
I heard 40K word books.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's keep going. At first glance, the relationship between film and fantasy values campaign appears an antagonistic one. Few during this period saw film as a friend to family values, while many considered the entertainment media, film, television, and popular music an unholy trinity ranging against tradition, religion, and decency. Okay, this is not incorrect. In 1980, when Falwell sought to prove the existence of a vicious assault upon the American family, exhibit number 1 came from the small screen. More television programs depict homes of divorced or of single parents than depict the sick traditional family. Nearly every major themed TV program openly justifies divorce, homosexuality, and adultery. This is not incorrect. The tune had not changed much by 1990, when conservative analysts charged that the invasion of the moral turf from the entertainment media inflicts serious harm on the family, and that as mass media's power to influence family life has become stronger and stronger, the family's power to influence the mass media has become weaker and weaker. In 1992, the year before the release of Jurassic Park and during the ostensible Year of the Woman.
What is the Year of the Woman?
Apparently, it was a year in which a bunch of women got nominated for Oscars and stuff.
Yeah, but which year was it?
1991. Oh, 1992, I mean. Sorry.
Of course, the other year that Hillary Clinton was in the media.
Shut up and take my money!
Yeah.
I've already thrown like
Basically
6
what
million at you.
happened.
Well, if I need to set up a PayPal, or I need to put my Venmo link or like a PayPal or whatever, or StreamYard's donation thing like some of those, just in case people want to send me money. Not likely, but I don't know. Maybe. We do need to pay the bills around here. At least consume the Dragon Blaster.
Consume Dragon Blaster, and then get excited for next Dragon Blaster.
There's only going to be 3 books. There's only going to be 3 books in this series, and they're going to be very, very. They're going to be the bare minimum. They're going to be the bare minimum length for a novel. So.
Oh my god! I just thought of something really dirty with that. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut now.
What you're talking about? 12 inches.
The bare minimum length of a Dragon Blaster.
What?
Okay, we've got sidetracked enough. Let's.
What are we talking about?
I mean, it's really hard not to get sidetracked because how fucking boring this fucking book is.
Yeah, when it's not boring, it's completely insulting and deceptive.
Yeah. So, movie critic Michael Mevid's Hollywood vs. America characterized the film industry as an all-powerful enemy, an alien force that assaults our most cherished values and corrupts our children. Will someone please think of the children?
Proof that Breitbart did not come up with the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate this book. Merchandise it. Wish I could. I don't have the ability to make toys. I don't have enough money.
Start a Patreon or something.
I do have a Patreon. It's in the link below.
Oh. Alright.
If you want to donate money to me, like, feel free to go on there and put in like $3 to $10, I'd be down. I'm down to accept how much money you want to give me. More famously, it was the year that Vice President Dan Quayle, seeking to spell out the moral difference between Republicans and Democrats during a tight presidential race, targeted sitcom icon and single mother Murphy Brown as an example of how the liberal elites running the show had profaned the nation's ideals. Okay. As typically presented by Family Values, the film was less an outgrowth of the culture than a desperate gaffe graft onto it. Underlying their attacks was the assumption, when not the assertion, that Hollywood, having foisted its amoral visions on a spellbound citizenry since at least the decadent 1970s, had both undermined public morality and left the upright too shell-shocked to protest.
I think this is how this is all some fucking political
60s
bullshit.
technically, but nobody was really watching cinema back then.
I don't think James Cameron was thinking about like all this fucking political nonsense when he was making Aliens.
I think he was thinking about when he was making Avatar.
And nobody's
done by just a sec.
And I very much doubt that. What is it that? What's it? I very much doubt that Steven Spielberg was thinking about this when he was making Jurassic Park.
No, they were just thinking, oh, a movie about dinosaurs is really cool.
Mm.
And Aliens and Space Marines in Aliens.
Is also really cool.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah, it's politisms.
Mm-hmm. So, keeping going.
Uh-huh.
Okay. This tidy parable, however, presents a willful misunderstanding not only of the ideological work of much film of the 1980s and 1990s. Work of much film. That's a weird way of putting it.
Much film.
Much film good. Ugh. Must build fire in cave. Ugh.
Where I can't.
Much good it feels.
What?
Fire warm good.
Oh, much film of the 1980s. It should be many films of the 1980s, not much film. What the?
Much film good. Ugh.
Oh my god, it's just so dumb.
Mm-hmm. And more generally, the role of film in culture. Typical of the Family Values advocates' inclination toward us versus them thinking, as in the title of Medved's book. I'm going to steal that name as a character. That's actually a cool name.
Wait, which one?
Medved.
Medved? Yeah, that's a cool name.
Sounds like a shorthand for medical video.
Good bed.
The claim that there is something called Hollywood that is alien to something called America offers a textbook case of the strategies by which the dominant cultural ideologies seek convenient scapegoats. Uh-huh. Yeah, cancel culture is a thing.
Hell, Bellin is a thing. He's been scapegoating this entire friggin' book. This entire book is about scapegoating his enemies.
Well, I just
Yep.
Let me see.
Projection is so irritating to deal with because the fact that it actually works, and you shouldn't have to point out how stupid it is, but you do.
Yep.
Let me see. Ooh, I actually found the perfect thing for this. I actually have two things. First thing is...
So he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Of course he's an idiot.
Mm-hmm. But also this, I don't
Sex
know.
slavery and child soldiers are still a thing. The devil does not care about this.
Yeah.
Indeed, Medved goes so far as to charge that the national anxieties over the collapse of the family can be traced to the influence of the popular culture with its clearly demonstrated and uncompromising contempt for the conventional family values. If there is a crisis in the family, he argues that this is attributable to the huge chasm between our own view of the world and Hollywood's, whose anti-family images have become so ingrained in our nation's national consciousness that few Americans can summon the courage or the strength to dismiss them as the destructive distortions that they are. Oh wow.
Until now.
Okay, here's oh man, here's a really funny one. Where is it? Even bypassing the illogic of this review, Medved wishes to argue that both that Hollywood has blemished family values and that has slighted their stainless purity, the reductive nature of his rhetoric is apparent. So he's shooting. So shots fired there. For if, as is undeniable, a great many Hollywood films deal with families other than the traditional kind, families that are fragmenting, families that are less than perfect, this does not mean that they, Hollywood, oppose what we Americans cherish. But
no, they oppose what we cherish because they're taking millions of dollars from foreign governments to undermine our culture. Millions of dollars every year for about 3 to 4 decades to undermine our culture. Mm-hmm. That is a fact. Hollywood are traitors to this country. They are paid to be traitors to this country and were until very, very recently. Mm-hmm. Now they just do it for fun. Look it up, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. Anyway, like the very forces that Medved champions, film is involved in the process of presenting the family as contested terrain, a tantalizing fascinating object of desire and attack. In her study of 1980 films that center on family values, Sarah Hardwood nicely summarizes the relationship between such films and their cultural context. These films acted in very specific and complex ways with broader cultural discourses to integrate both the actuality and rhetoric of the nuclear family, producing representations which reverberated with the anxieties of a fracturing social conscious, unconscious, and polarizing political project. Thus, it is not as Medved as it that film lacks values, the filmmaker's alibi being that this is not appropriate to impose values at all on the creation or evaluation of entertainment. I am okay with that. I like film not imposing values. I think that's a good thing.
Yes, so am I. In fact, the only films that should do that are the films that have morals of the story.
Like the moral of this
gives me an idea of a palate cleanser.
Oh?
We should read Albert Maltz's What Should We Ask of Writers?
What did I miss?
No, basically it's
talking about a palate cleanser. I've got a palate cleanser in mind. We can do the other one after this book is finished.
I was about to say I have a little North Korean propaganda piece that's fucking gold.
Let's keep going. But that film provides a space in which values that are imposed and created by a variety of forces within the culture, including its cinema, can be contested and compromised, and reinforced. What this means, furthermore, is that the culture that begot them, family values, tend to be more fluent in demonizing their adversaries than in defining their own vision. More able to finger that which threatens the family than to point towards them. Phrasing, dude.
Yeah, phrasing.
What?
It's just phrasing, dude. That's so bad. It's really, really bad. Oh man, that's funny. More able to finger that which threatens the family than to point towards some putatively ideal
no!
that pre-exists or
on,
survives the threat. To cite the most obvious examples, consider a film that many critics find central to the family values campaign: 1987's Fatal Attraction.
Who considers Fatal Attraction
Never
central
seen
to
it.
anything?
Can't comment.
Oh God.
I've never seen it. I don't want to watch it. It doesn't seem like it would be interesting in any way, shape, or form to me.
Yeah, same here.
I can watch Nightcrawler. Like, Nightcrawler's because Nightcrawler's awesome. And it's probably fourth best movie to come in 2014. 2014 was a really good year for movies. Like, I have to say, 2014, solid, good year.
Calendars don't make movies; people do.
I know, but like the movies that came out that year.
Yeah, I know. I just found it really weird that movies are characterized that way. And this year was a good year for movies. This year is a bad year for movies. When it seems that the director is a much more concise way to sort them.
Mm-hmm. True. That is
I don't know. It just kind of annoys me.
Fair enough. As Faludi sees it, Fatal Attraction is the most extreme and as such most popular of the late 1980s pro-family films that are larded with male anger over female demands and male anxiety over women's progress.
What?
Yeah, I am seriously tired of this conversation already. Jesus.
No one cares about anybody else's progress unless it comes at the expense of somebody else's.
Yeah. We're about to get into the craziness.
Oh, good God.
So in the story of a single psychotic homewrecker who nearly shatters a philanderer's comfortable existence before succumbing to a bullet fired by his stay-at-home wife, the film focuses many of the dire admonitions and moral precepts that suffused the era. It accordingly much of the male anger in Fatal Attraction and its ugly sisterhood, the parade of cookie-cutter offerings like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle and The Crush, 1992 and 1993 respectively, is directed against men and in particular against fathers who have themselves transgressed the dictates of family values.
Okay, thought occurs to me. Fatal Attraction, that's basically a horror movie, isn't it?
As far as I'm aware, yes.
A lot of these things he's talking about are horror movies, aren't they? Jurassic Park kind of be called a horror movie. Like I called it an animal slasher before. Alien, of course, another kind of animal slasher. All these are horror movies. Do you know what the point of horror was at this time? It's to unsettle people with things that they don't normally get attacked by. And the idea is that nowhere is safe. Not even the feminine, which is normally seen as very caring and nurturing. To project the feminine as actually a force of a hostility in these movies is meant to evoke horror in the audience by saying that nowhere that you could possibly hold as a safe haven is actually safe. The point is to scare people for the purposes of adrenaline or whatever the point of horror movies is. I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing with Jurassic Park was that it's dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs? Oh my God!
Dinosaurs.
Tell me he doesn't use the term dinosaur.
Oh my God!
I'm going to find him if he uses the term dinosaur.
Yeah.
I will hunt you down and kill you.
Yeah.
That lyric will always it's gonna be awful for the rest of the time.
Yep. Pretty much.
But you're fucking wrong! You're so fucking wrong! You're wrong! You're lying!
Pretty much the entirety of this frickin' book.
God damn it.
Yeah. What?
Yeah,
Oh.
basically Becca's saying more concisely what I was going after.
Yeah. So, the plot of Fatal Attraction is important to remember, unfolds from husband Dan's act of infidelity that he justifies his affair on the grounds of his waning sex life. If at home strikes at as the flimsiest, most cliched of motivations.
It's the 80s! The cliches were being born!
Yeah, also, like, it still happens.
Yeah, this is why we have the
today.
grandfather rule when it comes to cliches. Cliches only become cliches later.
Yeah. Kind of like how people can say that, like, what is it? That, like, John Carter's the originator of, like, a lot of the cliches of modern superhero and sci-fi stuff. Okay. It is important to recall here, too, in attempting to kill the other woman, Alex, Dan becomes effectively an abortionist.
What? No!
Wait, repeat that again. I didn't hear you correctly.
Okay, so it is important to recall here that in attempting to kill the other woman, Alex, Dan becomes effectively an abortionist, for so far as the viewer knows from Alex's report, she is pregnant with this child, and thus from her perspective, her pursuit of the father represents an attempt to fulfill the biological and sociological directives that family values dictated for men.
Or, there's also the woman there. It's not an abortion. It's not a murder. It's a 93rd trimester abortion.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. In this respect, oddly enough, the respectable Dan might be said to merit the approach that the approach to the former Secretary of Education and drug czar and ongoing family values eminence, William Bennett's direct at African American fathers. It is these absent men above all who deserve our censure and disesteem, abandoning alike those whom they have taken as sexual partners.
Esteem? Is that even a word?
He's quoting somebody, so...
Yeah, he's quoting somebody from 1994, I believe. Former Secretary of Education and drug czar and... yeah.
Okay, DW, what?
Something tells me he didn't actually have a title that had anything to do with family values, or just the Secretary of Education.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. This is really weird. This is a really, really freaking weird book.
It is.
Yeah. Abandoning alike those they've taken as sexual partners and those whose life they created, they strike at the heart of the martial ideal traduce generations yet to come and disgrace their very manhood.
Sawed off.
Is this still the quote, or...?
Yeah, that's still the quote, yeah.
I don't know. We could be on fucking Mars for all I know. Why do we have to keep reading every sentence? I don't know.
Because it's funny.
I'm laughing.
If then Fatal Attraction satisfies both the murderous and moralistic impulses of the family impulses of the period in its elimination of the predatory woman and its assertion of the value of the family, it cannot entirely still the demons it has summoned.
Rip and
Indeed, as
tear.
Arwen points out, the film's closest image, the film's closest image, which figures the restitution of the nuclear family and the mythical serenity of a domestic space, is itself so shot with contradiction as to be unconvincing. the photograph of the restored family on which the final film frame aims linger throws into question the very closure it seeks to achieve. Or this snapshot was taken before the events of the film transpired, and thus is restorative only in the nostalgic retrospect. These factors suggest that if, as Faludi argues, fatal attraction provided its viewers a forum in which to express deep-seated resentments and fears towards women, those fears remain unresolved by the film, a fact that may account for its apparently prodigious repeat business of the orgiastic violence of its conclusion, succeeds in hiding, not in healing, the rifts of the family.
What?
Good lord.
Failing to fix, restore, or cement the values that presumably render such violence necessary. Okay, to a certain extent, fantasy films are more adept at stabilizing, or at least appearing to stabilize, family values. These films' existence, one might even argue, owes much to their ability to employ strategies of containment denied by their mainstream kin. Most obviously, fantasy films' freedom from the tests of everyday validity enables them to embody the monstrous apparitions conjured by family values rhetoric in their most naked, terrifying forms. Forms at once overwhelmingly menacing in pursuit and keenly gratifying in defeat.
Yeah, it's not much use to trying to figure it out.
No, you didn't miss much, Tyler.
Yeah.
Now we were when we first started. When we ended the last stream, we were still at that same point.
Okay, how many pages have we gotten through?
7.
Oh,
Well,
really?
we've gotten into Fatal Attraction, and it sounds like through Fatal Attraction, because it sounds like it didn't have any plot points to begin with.
Yeah, there's
at least not many that reinforce this moron's ideas.
Yeah. At the same time, fantasy films enjoy a nearly perfect impunity in their excess of violence against the monstrous woman. Oh my gosh. Not really.
Clarify that.
Yeah. Fantasy is harder for me to. Yeah. Essentially, though the structures in Fatal Attraction might be designed by her, might have been designed by her director Adrian Lin as a raging beast underneath, quoted in Faludi 9, page 20. On the surface, she is demonstrably human, and thus her demise can be acceptable only to the extent that her motivations are damnable. In a fantasy film, by contrast, motivation need not be an issue, nor retribution a source of qualm. Motivation, such as it is, collapses into psychology, with the monstrous
Psychology? What the hell is that?
Psychology.
PHYSIOLI.
Physiology.
Physiology. Sorry. I thought physiology. Sorry. With the monstrous woman motivated solely
Physiology, the branch of biology that deals with the normal functions of living organisms and their parts.
Thank you. I do not think that word means what you think it means, Bellin.
Yeah.
No, he's basically saying that while actual human women killing other humans can obviously be seen as wrong, you can't really say that the alien queen is wrong because she's an entirely different species. Which is kind of true. They're animals.
You still kill it because
they don't have the same rights as people because they don't have the same responsibilities as people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So, collapses into physiology, with the monstrous woman motivated solely by her reproductive cycle.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You know, animals tend to be motivated by the thought of propagating more animals.
Yes.
Amazing insight. I never would have thought that a species would just not want to go extinct. Man, those dodos really sucked at their jobs.
Mhm. As Dr. Alan Grant in Jurassic Park puts it, the female monsters just do what they do. Biology thus becomes destiny with a vengeance. Interesting way of putting
There's
it.
no vengeance. They're animals. For Christ's sake.
I think what he's saying is like it's like comes back with a vengeance, like comes back with like.
Okay, so we're just gonna ream him for his really idiotic phrase.
Pretty much, yeah.
The only reason that we were never on dinosaurs' menu was because we were not around back when they were alive. Otherwise, you can bet the T-Rex and other dinosaurs like that would be eating humans.
Actually, probably not, because we wouldn't be very filling and we're way faster, way tougher, way scrappier. There's no way we would have been worth it. Even then, T-Rexes were actually carrion hunters.
Except that they are faster than we are.
We can hide in.
Yeah, but we're faster than other prey.
We're also smaller.
It's not worth the effort. It's like, would you eat squirrel for every meal? No, because it's not filling. Not that you couldn't kill a squirrel, but you're not going to.
That's true. But for the younger dinosaurs, definitely. For the younger ones, maybe not the adults, but definitely the juveniles.
The adults tend to feed the kids.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
After they leave the nest.
Pretty much, yeah. Let me see. So biology thus becomes destiny with a vengeance. The monstrous woman's procreative capacity is possessed of a gale force magnitude that no familial or social restraints can lasso it, and no end be put to it short of its utter extirpation.
You realize that the only reason that the dinosaurs were breeding was A, an accident, a genetic mishap, and B, they were being bred on purpose by men. I'm wondering why he didn't go with that angle.
He's going.
It would have been equally stupid, but
he's going to go into it, and it will be hilarious.
Can't wait.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brain.
Concurrently, the moral failures of men, their passivity, and the force of female misrule, or of their particular female misrule, or their participate in encouraging that, can reach their most awful conclusion in the fantasy film. The total erasure of men from reproductive significance, their reproduction at best to midwives for the monstrous woman's delivery, or at worst the incubators of her offspring, once the birthing process has spiraled beyond their control.
Oh, good lord.
Yo, honestly, at this point, I'm actually hearing the noises that the adults make in Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Stop saying incubator. I don't think that word means what you think it means. Stop using it.
No, he's using it in the correct context here, since the dinosaurs are incubated.
They're literally incubated by
machines. Okay, let me explain what this idiot is saying. Basically, what he's saying, like metaphorically.
Done. Crow wants on. Hang on.
Done. Okay.
Here, Crow. I'll send you the link.
Wolf, can you take care of that while I'm reading?
Yeah, sure. Here you go, Crow.
Basically, what this man is saying is that family values rhetoric reduces women, is saying that men are reduced to incubators or midwives to the monstrous women giving birth to their babies.
No.
That is
No!
what.
No. No.
That is
Just no.
essentially what he's saying. It is kind of nuts, but that is what this man is saying. It's really, really stupid.
I haven't been this annoyed by the word incubator since I watched Madoka Magica.
Yeah.
That anime's kind of meh.
Okay. Okay. What this means is that the hero's labors assume an epidemic gravity and urgency. No longer at stake is the mere survival of one human family, but the survival of the human family itself. And in turn, if under these risks, any loose ends might be glaringly evident, the sheer enormousness of the undertaking works to disguise defects in the victory, producing an apparently secure resolution, though even this resolution, as the sequels to Alien Species and Jurassic Park, or the revelation of surviving monstrous babies and closing shots of Little Shop of Horrors and Godzilla test, is not seamless.
Jurassic Park did not have sequels. Fight me.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think I watched something that looked like it might be a sequel to Jurassic Park, but I don't know. It's been a long time since I've watched any of those movies.
There is a sequel to Jurassic Park. It's called Velocipaster.
I know what that is.
I have no idea what that is.
He's a man of a claw.
This is the Alien chapter. We are in the Alien chapter.
It's Alien and Jurassic Park.
And Fatal Attraction and Species.
Apparently.
Bill's trying to argue that it's about, for those who haven't seen Jurassic Park, all two of you, the idea is that it's not that the dinosaurs are going out of control. It's that they didn't think through what they were doing. They thought they could master all this biology, but there were always holes in it.
And they cut a lot of corners. Like the helicopter.
Not only did they cut corners, but they used the right DNA sequence to allow for females to become males.
Not only that,
no expense.
Not only that, but they also the helicopter is clearly poorly constructed because the seatbelts are not designed so that you can click it together.
I think that was just a singular joke.
Yeah, it was a singular joke, but it's not. And also, the system is unfortunately designed that one idiot can take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially what this is called on TV tropes is an outside context problem. If when something comes completely out of left field that you didn't see coming, and you only plan for your known problems that you can actually take care of, you're not planning for the things that you didn't see coming.
Alrighty, well, we have our friend and consummate magician.
Sixth victim.
Hello.
Hello.
Remember when Bran was going to be a character?
Good evening and afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Crow, and I'm going to put myself through hell for your entertainment.
That's what you always do during the carnival.
Yep.
I'm very low energy right now, and I'm about to fall over and die.
Yes.
Again.
Welcome to
I would
die.
I want to quote Jurassic Park real quick just to debunk this guy's book. You spent too long thinking about how you could do it. You never thought about why you should do it. You've taken it, you patted it, you slapped it on a lunchbox, standing on the shoulders of giants. Jeff blooming it up over here. It's like this guy is an absolute moron who is desperately grasping at straws just to support his own political ideals and agendas.
And he's using his big vocabulary to make himself look smarter, but he's not succeeding.
Here's the thing. It is incredibly impressive to have a vocabulary with a lot of words. It's far more impressive to use that vocabulary to make yourself sound intellectual and distinct, to be able to communicate with the common people. The common people go, hello, how are you doing? Not greetings and salutations, fellows.
Okay.
Nice self-own.
You uppity
Here's the
magician.
difference between me and this guy who's writing this book.
You do it on purpose as a joke.
I do it on purpose to make myself sit into the role of the entertainment. I'm here to entertain you. This guy is trying to teach you. He's lecturing you. His way of doing it.
Girl, I did. Your wife's dear.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Hold on. Let me finish, because he's trying to teach and lecture. He's doing it to sound pompous because he believes he's better than you. I do it to sound pompous as a joke, to entertain, to give people a laugh and to cheer them, put a smile. This man is an idiot. He wants to talk down to you. He wants to make himself feel better, to rub his own little selfish ego. And he's going to use your medium of the movies that you enjoy to do it.
Unfortunately, that's very true.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Now, where's my money?
Actually, it would be a TED Caw.
I love it.
Crow, what about your ending speech?
If you want to support me, go support my on my Patreon. Go subscribe to my Comic Smoke and Beers, which is uploaded every Sunday. All right, do we want more speech?
Yes. Also, come to the carnival, please.
Yes, come to the carnival.
I am stuck here against my will.
No, you're not. You're here because I'm here. And
No,
I'm
in the
enjoying
carnival
it.
I am. In the carnival I am.
Oh, yeah.
He's just upset that he's not up there with Neph.
Well, Dunn could change that if he wants. How come Dunn's being so quiet, by the way?
He's planning something. You watch.
Yeah, whatever.
He's probably reading ahead, finding something really stupid.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah,
We didn't lose him, did we? Or is he still-
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, I was muted for a second. I had to cough, and I don't think you want to hear me cough.
Oh, that's racist.
He's got the COVID!
No,
Oh,
I
he's
just
gonna give us
it.
the COVID now.
We're just going to hijack your entire channel, your Discord server, as well as your property.
Hippity hoppity, your life is now my property.
Now, if only our mod was here to be able to throw all our links about.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be great. But unfortunately, will not be the case for a while. Anyway.
Too busy hanging out with her boyfriend.
Aw, it's so cute. I think it's so cute that the little devil is going on dates with the little vampire lady. It's so cute.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, they're actually an adorable couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they made it public. I think they made it public on Twitter a little bit ago.
About a month ago.
Yeah.
And then I think they did it on a stream today.
So what's your plan?
That is so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I think at one point I think I was having a conversation with Zoe on Twitter, and she's like, I was just like I'll have to film it and have to wipe the camera away from all the steam. It's like, Done, don't be naughty at my mentions. What? There's a lot of hot There's a lot of hot people in hell. What can I say?
Dunn, here's the thing about that, Dunn. Me and you, we knew before they knew.
Yeah.
Me and you and I think Voice and Spud and Shiny were all making fun of them about this whole thing before they even were dating.
Don't tell them all your secrets.
Well, come on. Well, Mary Mayhem, is, as far as I know, is still thirsty for Mauler. So,
Kinky.
she said she said on a stream, and I have that stream saved and have bookmarked every time she gets thirsty over Mauler. Like she says, I need that man to impregnate me with his voice.
Why
too
is
bad
it way
Adrian
more
Paladin
interesting
is
to
smaller.
talk about all the relationships of all these streamers than it is to read the book that we're literally here for?
Because this book is absolute garbage. It's not even worth. I've said this before. It's not even worthy to prop up my TV.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
why
yeah,
we go off
that's
the
the
random
And that's why you get rid of the garbage really quickly.
Crow, that book would be good enough for only one thing, and that's to keep my hat from flying away.
See, this is also like every other podcast and stream, always off random ass tangents because their content they're discussing is sometimes so incredibly boring that we have to go on random ass
Or
tangents
so
because it's
incredibly
entertaining.
stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, there's 1,000 more interesting things to talk about, but the people come to watch us suffer, so
Yeah.
suffer we must.
No, I'm going to commit.
Actually,
unlive. So
like stabbing myself would be more fun than this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's keep going. So,
Yeah, sure.
the monstrous woman film that epitomizes these features.
Oh my god. We didn't even make it a full sentence.
What was that? We didn't make it a whole clause.
So, the monstrous woman film that epitomizes these features and functions, as I said before, species, the tale of a genetically engineered alien hybrid who metamorphizes into a reptilian terror during attempts to breed with human males.
How did I know species was going to happen? I was calling this last stream.
It's
You were.
You know, we need more specious in this world.
Yeah, fuck humans. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah,
In
that's
the
actually
whole-
a fun time to pass. That's a fun way to pass the time by fucking humans.
No comment.
No.
Other than, speaking of that, I actually have the perfect thing for that.
And then they fuck.
Who is that guy again?
Crimson Rogue.
Thank you. I need to go finish his video on that one really terrible
Elysian book?
No, the one after that, the one even dumber, the one about that one girl with psychic powers.
That is
the one
from,
Doug got the transcript from.
That is from
Amelia?
So the clip that I used is from Crimson Rogue's Excalibur, The Book Was Better, where he compares the Arthurian myth, specifically the Morte d'Arthur, with Excalibur.
In this case, it was literally the original source material was better.
Empress Teresa,
Yeah.
that was it.
Oh yeah, that was bad. Anyway, what distinguishes species from its kindred is its calculated, utterly self-conscious employment of family values ideology, remarkably unsubtle and ultimately unsatisfying in its cobbled-together retread feel. Species is nevertheless a useful film in that it highlights elements that operate less obtrusively and doggedly in its sister films. Oh, finally, a short paragraph.
Shocking.
That was 2 sentences.
Oh wow.
What does this guy think paragraphs are for?
I don't fucking think he knows what the hell that even
I
is.
don't. It's just, this guy is a college level professor. He should know better than this.
Or did they just find
Okay,
some random
clearly, I had the perfect explanation for this. He did some pretty good backdoor dealing, if you know what I mean.
Either
I
that
know
or
it-
front door, or some front door whistleblowing.
No, I'm pretty sure probably both. Actually, I'm pretty sure he had like a lot of blue for that.
He did some rebar installation on the top floor.
Hey,
I put a
you want-
rebar through my own
Oh,
head because
that's
of this
great.
book.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
think a lot of people feel that way.
I feel as if I'm banging my head against my desk.
Don't do that.
So, okay.
Unless it's me.
So the plot. Okay, so the plot of Species perfectly integrates the twin heads of family values discourse, bred by government geneticists who have been duped by instructions they received from outer space. The alien Syl must be hunted down by a mostly male team, a bounty hunter, an empath, and a sociologist, before her potential to reproduce overwhelms the human race.
But what if it was a female team? But then that falls flat in its face.
Isn't the monster from Aliens like her whole job is to reproduce because that's what her species does?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like they would do this with any other alien race. It just so happened to landed on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing in Species.
Yep.
Heck, that was kind of the premise of Independence Day.
Yep. When the predatory species is introduced in a closed ecological system, the sociologist explains the function of the weaker species. The extinction of the weaker species is inevitable. During the hunt, the film misses no opportunity to mark Syl as a liberated, sexually aggressive woman.
What? Oh, for God's sake!
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
That flew right over my head.
That is amazing. That is absolutely freaking hilarious.
I'm having so much fun.
You know, never mind that all these non-human creatures are literally non-human and therefore shouldn't have any basis of anything.
Well,
Like
they're
these,
not human.
these creatures don't have a culture. They have no civilization. They have no
Or at least none that's
morals,
relevant.
Or they don't have morals. They don't have a as far as we know, they don't have anything outside of what basic animalistic needs. They do not deserve human rights. They or anything that would be like intelligent rights and
more to the point, they're like directly hostile. So even if they had rights, they would have revoked them.
Well, actually, to elaborate on your point about human rights, they're aliens. Why do they need human rights in the first place?
Well, it depends on the sci-fi setting. Like if it's like something like Star Trek, but the movies we're talking about, these alien contacts that we're having are like the first ones humans have, and they're always hostile towards us. This is an us versus them situation. If we don't eradicate them first, they're going to eradicate us.
It's a kill or be kill our species survival versus theirs.
And you know what? That species has no hard feelings to us about that because, as far as they know, that's just our nature too. They don't think of us as intelligent beings.
And because this isn't something stupid like Gundam 00 Awakening of the Trailblazer, we have no reason to think otherwise.
It's something that anybody who owns a pet knows. If the pet comes up to like meow or bark at you, trying to get your attention to go do something, the pet thinks they're training you.
Not the other way around.
Not the other way around. Like the pet is aware that if they do this thing, they get a treat, but they're also aware that if they do this thing, you'll do something for them. Like they'll bark at you when they need to go outside. They'll meow at you if their food bowl is empty and that gets your attention, or they want like you to scratch them or something.
Yeah.
Animals don't have exactly deep thoughts. Let's keep going.
No, they're pretty stupid. Okay.
No, I wouldn't call them stupid. Simple is not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They have simple desires.
Their thought is different from ours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Therefore, they're inferior.
So the film misses no opportunity to mark Syl, the alien monster, as a liberated, sexually aggressive woman. Interesting. For example, when the project's head scientist noticed that we have decided to make the hybrid female so that it would be more docile and controllable. The bounty hunter snorts, docile and controllable. I guess you guys don't get out much. As if that's actually funny.
It's funny. Yeah,
it's funny. As if this line were not ham-handed enough, it is repeated verbatim later in the film. Yeah, because it's funny. Visually, Species piles on a surfeit of fertility imagery. the womb-like cocoon from which the adult Syl emerges, the overlapping water of the pools and hot tubs that back her sex scenes. Okay. The damp, cramped subterranean passages in which she gives birth. Syl herself is an incarnation of reproductive energy. She grows to adulthood in mere weeks, conceives on her first completed active intercourse, and delivers a baby that achieves maturity in minutes. Her killing acts, moreover, are expressed in patently sexualized terms. One man whom she deems unacceptable is dispatched by her tongue ramming through his mouth and into his brain.
KK.
Yeah.
While another one, balking at how fast she moves from foreplay to intercourse, is drowned in his hot tub while one of her tentacles snuffs his mouth in a parodic reversal of oral sex.
What? Oh, poor phrasing!
I don't know if it's phrasing.
I
at
think
this
he
point.
knew exactly what phrasing he was trying to go for.
Well, now
Oh, no!
the
Stop it!
alien in species does kill her mate during intercourse. It's kind of like how some spiders will eat their
Black
eat the mate.
Widow.
It's because the process is
For a very
tiring.
good reason.
No, he's talking. He. I kind of wish you were talking about alien resurrection, but he's not. He's talking about species.
And what he fails to grasp is that, unlike Japan, tentacles do not necessarily mean dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why the alien goes down into the sewers is because it's a safe place for her to give birth. Because, giving birth is a time of weakness for animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Furthermore, the fact that Syl is driven by biological mandates so deeply woven into her being that even she does not understand their origin or purpose. Recurrent nightmares of her recurring nightmares of her monstrous lineage haunt her sleep, emphasizes the unconscious instinctual power of women's reproduction and the limits, and thus the need for those in authority to patrol and control its expression. In this respect, though the focus of the film's horror is the monstrous women, the focus of its judgment is the men around her, without whose discretion or lack thereof, her raging hormones would never have found release.
It's a monster.
It's a monster. There's nothing.
There's nothing like. The reason why the monster is a woman is because the creator of the series picked that because one, they wanted a cheap excuse to have sex in the movie, and two, because having a woman be the monster is infinitely more terrifying than be big, strong man.
Stonk.
Yeah.
Because if suddenly this sweet, docile thing is a horrific tentacle monster, is uniquely terrifying.
Yeah, I was just talking about that earlier. It's because the woman is supposed to be the gentle refuge. But once you realize that's not a refuge anymore, that's the point where the horror comes in.
It's the same logic of scary children.
That's another really good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the point of the child is this is sweet, innocent usefulness. Like, children are the pristine ideal of innocence. To turn that into some sort of horrific monster.
Yeah, then Mikazuki go bang bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are just normal kids, though. Have you been around kids? You know that's normal.
That's not what we're talking about.
All the time. Oh, Lord. I'm not a tentacle monster.
Okay, Crow.
Debatable.
Crow, how's your Vetus doing?
What?
You hear me?
I know I didn't. What did you say?
How's your anus doing, Bobby?
Down.
Yeah. What do you do? How's it doing?
Stop.
Yeah. So how many more pages do we have to go?
In the whole chapter or just this section?
Whole chapter.
This chapter 15.
So we finally got to the halfway point.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're only halfway through this book.
Chapter.
No,
You just jumped in.
we're 80 pages. We're 80 pages short of the end of the book. We are.
Oh my god.
Yeah, kind of.
Part of me wants to get this book and just tear it apart in editing.
Mm.
Alright.
Alright, cool.
So, where's the end of this section?
Not until the end of the book. Not until the end of the chapter.
Okay, so this is the
This
final
is the
section
final
of this chapter.
section of the chapter.
Yep, and it's 15 pages long.
You know, why have
God.
sections instead when you have chapters too?
I mean, the chapter sections could have been chapters themselves.
It's like Bellin clearly does not give a rat's ass about framing this around the movie. He's just using this as an excuse to rant.
Yeah.
So why even have why have section breaks in the middle of chapters instead of another chapter?
I don't know.
It's just the same shit over and over again. It's like 15 more pages of him talking about dumb sexual fucking shit.
I
or
think
something.
it's
It
gotten
really
to the
is.
point where he's just repeating
he's an
himself.
I think he's
rambling.
I think he's
Yeah,
I think
that
he's a-
too.
I think he's an alien that's trying and failing to be human.
Yeah, let's
He's an
let's-
alien.
let's get to the end of page 123, and we'll call
What
it
page
good
are
for
we on?
121.
Okay.
Near the end of 121. So, furthermore, the fact that Syl is driven by biological mandates so deeply woven to her being that even she does not understand their origin or purpose. Never mind. Control. In this respect, though the film's focus is the horror of the monstrous woman, the focus of her judgment is the men around her, without whose distraction or lack thereof, her raging hormones were never found relief. Not only, of course, was she initially bred by scientists who hubris led them to believe that they could control her, in critical moments, the hunters are either deceived or distracted from their quest. For instance, it emerges that the chief scientist has been unwittingly aiding Syl under the influence of her telepathic powers. More blatantly, though the team is far from certain that Syl has died in the accident she staged, instead of staying on alert, the boys get drunk in their hotel bar, numbing the empath's misgivings sufficiently for Syl to spring her a final trap. Entering the room of the sociologist, who, despite knowing her methods, is completely unsuspicious when a beautiful stranger seduces him in his hotel room and is too irresponsible to wait for her answer to the question, what about protection? She asks the man to pay for his recklessness when she disposes of him after securing his seed.
Okay.
It's basically just a description of what happened in the movie. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even the character who at first seems the film's moral center, the empath who cannot fathom killing another being, for he feels too deeply their pain, is ultimately revealed as an accomplice in the monstrous woman's designs precisely because he has sympathized with her, slowing the course of vengeance by raising moral scruples about the justice of killing a threatened creature. In this respect, the empath might be said to stand for the end and for the audience, seeing Syl first as as a frightened preteen girl who, for reasons yet unknown, is caged by white-robed government technicians who attempt to gas her to death. The audience, like the empath, will learn to overcome initial feelings of sympathy once it becomes apparent what Syl really is, once she has matured into the sexual predator that the seemingly innocent girl was destined to become.
I'm still fixated on this character as a stand-in for the audience, when every character should be a stand-in for some member of the audience. Idiot.
Gah.
If a character's not a stand-in for the audience, then they don't have enough of a character to be a proper stand-in. Ray.
Mhm. Yeah, frickin' Ray. Even worse is that Finn, Poe, and Rose are the same way.
Okay, I regret bringing up Star Wars. Let's go back.
But
I
yeah.
will look at that reference.
Done.
Not open up that can.
Fine. Okay, so in the film's climactic sequence, when Syl is revealed as a full-figure, computer-generated character, the conversion from woman to monster is complete. No longer does there remain any trace of the human actor who plays a Syl, but rather in her place is a Medusa-like horror. Her movements those of a spider, her eyes those of a feral cat, her hair and breasts erupting with tentacles.
Oh, good God.
It's almost like the monster wasn't really human.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like that was camouflage.
It's a lie, and Bellin sounds like he would fall for it.
Yeah, he sounds like he would be one of the people that, yeah. No, I'm not finishing that sentence.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, great. The bounty hunters' words before firing the shot that brings Syl down at last are, "Let go, you mother effer." Interesting.
That's that's normally what someone would say.
Yeah, calling somebody a motherfucker in an action film is like saying hi.
Yeah, it's like...
That's just your opinion.
Yeah.
Dude. I actually am agreeing with Drake here.
Yeah.
You go, you crazy motherfucker. And then you try to have an arm wrestle.
You are one ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, there are a few phrases. Motherfucker's one of them. Son of a bitch is another.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Let's not insult this man's mother. She did the best she could, and clearly she failed.
Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, no. I'm being facetious. I don't care. If you
No, I know you are. I know.
Yeah, I mean, I curse like a fucking sailor.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, having been mothered by the irresponsible men with whom she has attempted, with their own abetting, to copulate, Syl produces offspring that will become a terrible blight unless the man who most fulfills the ideal of traditional male authority, the man who gets the human girl at the end, does not get, quote-unquote, the monstrous girl as well. Interesting.
It's almost like if you wanted to run this metaphor the whole way and actually have some integrity and not be a fucking hack, you would be describing two different kinds of females. One being hostile, and one being not. It's almost like the movie is saying that being a hostile bitch is a bad thing. And I feel like I've made that point before.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. Its title character notwithstanding, then, Species is very much a man's film. It is men who catalyze and resolve the crisis, men who possess choices, and men who can be judged on the basis of their actions.
By definition, that is not true. The men were reacting to the species monster.
Mm-hmm. In this drama, the monstrous woman herself is little more than gruesome window dressing, lacking the ability to determine or even understand her fate. She is simply a brute fact that must be dealt with by men. Interesting phrasing. that women are not always shoved into this to the side are not always shoved to the sidelines of family values films is obvious from Aliens, species' predecessor by a decade, as well as its model in both core plot elements and thanks to H.R. Geiger's creature's visual design. A number of critics have read Aliens as a commentary on feminism, and from the perspective, the film has
that is just as insane. I mean,
Feminism in
that was
girl power
done
sense
for me
or
to
the yes queen
comprehend.
slay sense?
What do I even bring to the table? What can I say that can even bring anything to the table? Like I'm just gonna let it wash by.
I'm sorry if I sounded insane there, but I couldn't help it.
Yeah, which wave of feminism are they advocating for? Because there's basically three waves that can essentially be summarized as voting, pants, and what I like to call Third Reich feminism.
I'd say we're in Third Reich right now.
No, I'd say Fourth Reich.
Now the Third Reich hasn't won. You need to win before you can get to the fourth.
Yeah, exactly, which is why I said third.
At the time Species came out, it would have been the second wave feminism.
No, the third wave feminism has actually been around for. When did Species come out?
Came back out in like the mid 90s, I
Let's
think.
check out film. Looking it up right now. Species came out in 1995.
Yeah, mid 90s.
Yeah.
What was Bellin saying about it leading Aliens by a decade?
No, it's saying he's
Aliens
saying
led by a
predecessor.
Aliens was 89 or something.
So he's saying Aliens species predecessor by a decade. Predecessor by a decade. So
it's not a predecessor by a decade. It's like a predecessor by like 3 years.
No, you're backwards, Drake. He is saying Aliens is the predecessor.
Mm-hmm.
That makes even less sense.
Yeah, it's weird.
You can't say something's a predecessor by a decade when it's only 3 years older.
Or maybe 4 at the very most.
3 years is not 10 years, in the same way that 13 is not 20.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. The film has yielded diametrically opposed readings. While Robin Roberts construes the film as a liberationist manifesto. Interesting. Susan Jeffords finds its feminist proclivities outweighed by its extreme genophobia.
Genophobia?
You mean gynophobia?
Gynophobia.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think genophobia. What the fuck is that?
Gynophobia.
Like fear of that one side character from One Punch Man?
Or maybe, do you mean xenophobia?
That's incredibly racist.
There are no
totally
phobias in
offended now.
Aliens. The fear of the aliens is quite founded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they could try and murder all of us or enslave us.
I would suggest, however, that the film's apparent inconsistencies can profitably be read, if not reconciled, by placing Aliens within the broader context of family values ideology, which helps to account not only for the film's representation of women, but for its concomitant mediation on men, children, and the family.
Concomitant? You mean
You know what?
non-commitment?
It's like, what did the directors of these movies think about this guy's takes on the movies? Like, what the fuck are you guys? What are you talking about?
What are you
Well, let's
smoking?
just say the director of Alien has lots of things to say about what's been happening to the franchise. I don't think he cares much about what this moron thinks.
No,
Nope.
I don't think he does. So
Ridley Scott.
I think his
Ridley Scott.
reaction would be, "What the hell, dude?" And then
Ridley-
he'd go on with his day.
has Ridley Scott even made a good movie other than The Martian in the last 5 years?
I don't know.
He can't even remake Aliens properly.
Yeah, he
or remake
both-
Alien properly.
both. Yeah, I have not seen any of the Alien movies, but most like people seem to like even like people who unlike Patrick Willems likes Alien Covenant for some reason.
He's an idiot. We've established that multiple times.
Oh, dude. Grass is green, sky is blue, and water's not
Oh
wet.
my god.
Yeah.
Patrick Willems thinks that Alien Covenant is great. He has a whole video, like his Last Jedi video, saying Patrick explains Alien Covenant and why it's great.
The only good thing about Alien Covenant is that Michael Fassbender has the power to act disproportionately to how badly the script is. So the worse the script, the better his performance. It's a weird power.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Whatever this is needs to die.
Yeah. Yeah, also.
So he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, Oedipus complex. I'm not sure if he talks about that actually.
Well, at least he's not talking about it yet. But I don't know.
God.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, good lord. Oh,
Worst part
don't
about
tell me he goes into that
don't know. I don't.
chapter.
I don't know. I don't
Oh,
think
God.
he does yet. I don't think he does yet. I don't think he does. I don't know though. Considering this light, the film's critical, when not condemnatory, treatment of its male characters, who are almost without exception stooges, suckers, or pushovers for the monstrous woman, as the alien monarch will turn out to be. If feminism is seen as the film's determining context, such treatment might seem a strategy to set off its strong, capable heroine, Sergeant Ellen Ripley.
Strong cable Karen.
No, Ripley's not a Karen.
No,
What I wonder is, how is Ripley a sergeant? They found her in space. Did she keep her rank somehow? She was a warrant officer in the first film.
I don't know. Seen in terms of family value discourse, however, it becomes evident that what unites these men, is their mishandling or profanation of the father role. Most patently violating the father's charge to foster and protect is the company man, Burke, who not only seeks to impregnate the prepubescent foundling Newt with the alien seed, but who sends families with young children unwarned and unarmed in search of the deadly life form to whose presence Ripley has alerted him. Footage deleted from the film's theatrical run but restored in its DVD release emphasizes the devastation wrought by reckless fathers. Scenes of the colonists before they were overrun by the xenomorphs reveal that it was Newt's father in company with his wife and children who discovered the derelict spacecraft in which the dormant alien eggs were housed. Inspired by the prospect of gain, we have scored big. This time he exults, and suggesting that they take a look inside, it is the father who returns, infected by the first facehugger.
Let's not even address the canonicity of the director's cut.
Yeah. That's just a long tangent, and I just don't care. Like, I've heard the James Cameron's director's cuts are better than the originals, but I've
actually heard the opposite.
Really? Okay. Oh wow.
It's a pacing issue, basically.
But
anyway.
Interesting. With its intimation of illicit sexuality, the father anticipating a score with an ominous locale outside the home, this sequence parallels that of Fatal Attraction, suggesting that fathers who dally with other women carry contagion to their families, communities, nation, and race.
I did not understand half of that.
Okay. Basically, he got hit by a facehugger, and for probably the last time in the franchise, the facehugger actually let go and let him live again. And so he came back carrying a chestburster, and that chestburster exploded out and somehow did more breeding on its own.
I think that he's basically likening guys who go after hookers with the guy who went to grab the facehuggers.
Wow!
No one knew what the xenomorphs were.
Lord.
Within an ominous locale outside the home, like a seedy motel where you grab a hooker and say, "Hey, babe, can we go into this room and do it?" And
no, they were clearly going for a sexual assault motif.
If, moreover, some of the men of Aliens are directly engaged with the monsters and the destruction of the family, others are inadequately vigilant, poised, or pragmatic to control the monstrous threat once it has been unleashed. The Marines sent to rescue the colonists comprise a posse of arrested adolescents whose fetish need to assert their masculinity is expressed by their pronged ship, massive
the masculinity of Vasquez.
Massive
Oh,
rifles,
God.
massive rifles protruding from waist level.
Jesus
You
Christ.
shoot
Guys,
from the
really
hip. Jesus Christ.
He's oh man, he's
Lordy.
This guy is dig beyond the fucking grind. He's hit the fucking like the fucking rock floor. He's just fucking hammering at the fucking floor with the shovel.
He's hit rock bottom, and he's trying to go through the floor.
He's
China
hit rock
was
bottom,
3
and I do
miles
not like
back.
the look of that jackhammer.
He's gone so far down, we're about to hit the moon.
Yeah.
Through the planet. Oh my god, I wonder if he's actually going to bring up the fact that they're called smart guns.
I don't know. And pre-fight bandage about the juicy colonist daughters we have to rescue from their
Oh my gosh, that is just basic fucking banter. You fucking kidding me?
You idiot. Ugh.
It's just just banter. Why are you digging into this? This guy is an absolute fucking half-wit. Why are we even wasting our time?
I don't know.
I'm having a great time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm half asleep, so I'm like, it's just
the standout representation of such hypertrophied male masculinity as male sexuality, is Hudson, for whom militarism and machismo are inextricably intertwined, and for whom, accordingly, gunslinger vainglory turns to whimpering imbecility when his piece sputters and gutters out within the hot, moist, narrow tunnel in which scary things lurk.
Did he just equate that
running out of ammo to erectile dysfunction?
Oh my lord!
I think he might have. Yeah, actually.
No, that's actually not what I heard. I heard something to do with a hot, moist tunnel.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
You did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
It's like they just equate that to the inside of what's a giant.
Everything is a penis.
Everything's a
Holy shit, this guy is absolutely insane.
He
Holy
fired
God.
his load.
To laugh at Sigmund Freud. This is why he's so
Oh my
discredited.
God, imagine being equating a spray and praying person to a quick shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this man's
This guy is not a professor.
So that means the bigger your gun is, the bigger your dick.
Yeah.
This is
In this
too
respect,
insane.
the Vasquez, the tough female Marine, whom some critics see as furthering a feminist reading of the film, might better be seen as yet another curiosity in a long parade of paltry surrogates who have rushed to fill in the vacuum of legitimate parental authority.
Or, it's just like the token lady in the Marines. Because they don't care about sexuality so long as you can point your gun and aim reasonably well.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get the training.
Which is brutal, mind you. Special forces have this thing called selective processing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in more of a meta sense, that actress is like really well known for action movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's built
And
up to
died
be
in
a
them.
badass.
I forget her name though, but everybody calls her Vasquez because of that movie.
Mm-hmm. The question she is asked as she pursues her fanatical program to outmatch the boys. Have you ever been mistaken for a man? Is an opt-out not only for her, but for the corp as a whole.
Oh my god, it's just banter.
Yeah,
It's
I
Marine
actually like
banter.
that line. It's like a guy asks her, "Have you ever been mistaken for a man?" And she goes, "Have you?" That's funny.
Burn!
Hey,
She's more
there's a
Amanda than
movie
this
to
guy.
watch instead. Aliens. I put right down for that list.
Yep.
So how far have we gotten?
Just gonna finish this paragraph and we'll call it good.
Okay.
But
This is a Bellin paragraph.
Well, no, it's like an inch longer. Even the two's films' two sympathetic characters, the cyborg bishop and the grunt Hicks, prove ineffectual. Though he possesses a gentleness and courage that contrasts starkly with the rapacity of the film's quote-unquote real men, Bishop, a mere mock-up of a man, cannot measure up when met by the alien queen, who cuts him down to size in the final confrontation. Hicks, meanwhile, though he does not actually betray Newt, does fail her 3 times. When he cannot cut through the grate fast enough to pluck her from an advancing alien drone, when injuries prevent him from tracking her to the Queen's nest, and when he is out of commission during the Queen's final attack. Heavily sedated, this would-be dad sleeps blissfully through the child's dream of monsters.
To those who haven't seen the movie, Hicks gives Ripley a little tracker that he can use to find Newt. Ripley then gives this tracker to Newt so that they can both find her later. And that they do. And Hicks knows this from what we learned from a later line.
Okay. And it took us 2.5 hours to get here.
Yeah.
Yep. We got through 12 pages.
Oh, thank God.
And we have about
this guy is like if you were comparing to like a YouTuber, he would be like Cosmonaut.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, putting
like,
the
you
hour
don't know
in
what you're gonna
Cosmonaut
get.
Variety hour.
I was thinking. I was honestly thinking, like, Patrick will. I think like Cosmonaut's dumb, but Patrick is worse.
Well, it's just the thing with Cosmonaut is just that you just don't know what you're gonna get. It's just like the dumbest thing. Like I watched the recent EFAP coverage of like the one like his Mandalorian take, and it was just so absolutely fucking dumb and bizarre. Like no one made that argument. And just why?
Yeah. Well, at least like this week. Well, we could always just do like a Thursday stream and try and finish this chapter, and then Monday, if we wanted to, since tomorrow we're finishing School of Movies, Wonder Woman.
Good luck.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's
At least Wednesday is going to be a palate cleanser.
yeah.
Oh.
But either way,
I was gonna, yeah, I guess.
I'll go for it. I'll go for it. It's
like,
fine.
I wanted to show off that little North Korea video.
How long is it?
Let's see here.
I think it's like 4, maybe 3 minutes.
Okay, we can do that. Go for it.
Yes. All right.
Okay. Tomorrow at I think like 2:15, since that's when y'all get home for work. It'll be I think Andres Stave on Listra. Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yep. Let me.
Oh, this is gonna be a treat. You should stay for this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Stay for the after party.
This is gonna be fucking glorious.
How Americans live today.
You know the context behind this. This is USA in the eyes of the North Korean TV propaganda. So this is what
right there. You didn't really just show us.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Dramatic music. This is how Americans live today, drinking coffee made from snow and living in tents and buying guns to kill each other, especially children.
Especially children. We're just gonna kill them.
Modern day America. These trees are full of snow. You'll see that there are no birds. They've been eaten by the people who live in these tents and corridors. Their houses blow down very easily. They have to live in tents like these. This man will show us his tent with pride. He points to his items, but the camera notices his roof has fallen down. This is common in modern-day America. The American Red Cross supplies curtains and walls from material from North Korea. Again, there are no birds in the trees apart from these, which will be eaten on Tuesday. They are yummy. You can also eat the snow, of which there is plenty in the United States.
Don't eat the yellow snow!
Wait.
These people lie huddled together with their dead friends in blue body bags, drinking coffee cups full of local snow.
Oh man, you gotta support your local snow business.
They are very good friends. They are together in adversity.
They don't get that snowballs aren't literally snowballs.
In other parts of America, often disguised as foreign countries in Europe, people live the same terrible life. This man, a former Republican candidate for Oregon, is now having to get coffee made of snow from these trucks. Many Americans live like this daily and entitled to one cup most days. The weather is freezing, but the hot snow tastes nice. That man's taking the blankets while they're looking. They are very grateful to their government for these handouts. Yummy.
Yummy.
They enjoy it immensely. Meantime, in the major offices, factories and railway stations, people sit around under expensive adverts for Dell computers, drinking snow from plastic cups. People pass by, not caring, for they are all in the same situation.
Elena.
Not quite yet.
These telephones no longer work. There is no one to call.
No one to call.
Some lucky people are allowed beds and floors indoors like this. This is how they live in modern-day America, huddled together, the poor, the cold, the lonely, and the homosexual. The North Korean camera crew awoke this guy who was very cold and gave him some North Korean coffee and a blanket. Meantime, these people queued up for handouts from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea and were each given a cake.
We're each given a cake.
I don't want to hear any shit about American propaganda.
Yeah.
There are no birds except for these ones, which will be eaten on Tuesday. That was my favorite one.
Oh man, if you could really eat snow and get a coffee like Buzz out of it, then I'm glad I moved to where I did.
By the way, Yelena, it's
comment sections in the video are also fucking gold.
I gotta see some of them.
Excuse me? No, I don't live where snow is.
I finally
Their
got
houses slow down very easily, so they have to live in tents.
Makes sense.
Oh my god.
Also, but Yelena, the YouTube logo actually says BHM. It's February.
Yeah,
Little dear Mando showed us this on his live stream, so I had to show you guys it.
That's going on the carnival as our opening.
Cool.
And the homosexual.
I love this one comment. A message to Kim Jong-un. It's always tough being the fat kid in school. It must be extra tough being the only fat kid in your entire country.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
So
10 out of 10. That's Korea.
I'm gonna have to go and eat some snow later. So
I know.
Also, remember, you don't. Hey, at least we get our cell phones. What do you care? Must be hard for the user North Korea.
Anyway, I think that we shall conclude it there. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.